Just dropping off like flies. But we are live. 1585 show a little bit earlier than normal. You got a little glitch on yours, Mac. Let's see if we can't get you cleaned up. All right, we in the building, man. Friday night, 8:30 show.
New camera
New camera. All right, now we got to share it. I thought it'd be a good opportunity to jump on with the Sports Empire Network. Let me see if I can. But earlier than normal. Go ahead and share the show with some cats. We're on YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitch, and Twitter. 1585 show. That's Mac. I'm AC. Welcome to the dark side. When I get to the show, they won't let me be great. All right, Mac. You asked me about practice. How's practice going? I mean, it's going, man. You figure dog days of summer. Pads. Kids is getting, banged up. They're getting through it. We got a scrimmage tomorrow. In the squad scrimmage tomorrow. We'll see how it goes, man. Kids ain't what they used to be. Ain't like when we had double days, triple days. All right, where am I?
Oh man, the 2-a-day practices were, man. You got it down to a science, though. You know how to keep yourself hydrated. You knew what to eat, what not to eat. We made a way. It was tough, but we made a way.
I don't know if these kids today could make it. Like, I'm not saying we was all that tough, but we were tougher than these kids. I'm trying to instill in my kid the toughness necessary to be a football player. If this is what you want to be, they require some toughness, aches and pains getting through the dog days. But it's like, wow, man. These kids, let's go. If I can't post it there, I'm going to post it on our page. All right, man. What does it all mean? Your camera, is it not loaded up yet? Yeah, we're early, man. I'm trying to get it in, man. My son at Sky Zone trying to have a team bonding. I know he's going to call in the middle of the show. It's all good. Trying to get it in. What does it all mean, man? I'm running at you, man. Brittany Griner, Deshaun Watson, LeBron James, no deal. What does it all mean? The transfer trade generation. Who is to blame? I believe we kind of got over the contract stipulation talk, but it's still something I'm interested to hear what Mac had to say about it. What's a deal killer? Like, if you had a contract, if they put something in your contract, what is the deal killer? And you're a track guy, Mac, so I'm gonna have to ask you later in the show, who's on your Mount Rushmore of track and field? We always go basketball and football. Who's on your Mount Rushmore for track and field? I know you got some sleepers on there. And our graphic for Save 2 movies. It's kind of small. I'll blow it up so everybody can see it. I fell off. I threw it into the trash. I got to reload it. But we got some sports flicks to go through later on. Let's see. It's right here. All right, here we go. Out of Rudy, Longest Yard, We Are Marshall, Space Jam, Air Bud, The Miracle, Youngblood, Slapshot, White Man Can't Jump, Like Mike. What's that one in the middle say something? Who is that? Something. Dreams.
Field of Dreams, Waterboy.
Field of Dreams, Waterboy, Titans, Remember the Titans, Moneyball, Major League, Sandlot, A League of Their Own, Hoosiers, Mighty Ducks, and Goon. Save 2 movies. We'll come back to that. We'll finish the show with that. What up, Big Fred? Elaine the Queen. Mike Big Lux. Just met with Freddie and them. We got to talk about that later. All right. Big Freddie. Meet Michael Stafford. Meet Jimmy McElroy. the other better half of the 1585 show. I'm 15, he's 85. And we never lost to SC.
Never lost to SC.
Never. All right, man. Brittany Griner. I know you've had a moment to kind of like take your mind off emotion. And what does it really mean, though? I have a take. I would love to hear your take. In that we don't get too political on here, but this seems like a very political move. Brittany Griner gets 9 years in a Russian court. What does that mean on a large scale?
Is being antagonistic to the United States. You're taking a young lady who's a basketball star not only for our country, but she's a basketball star in that country as well. And it's just to say that, hey, look, we know that state, matters to us about this Ukraine thing, but at the end of the day, what we're going to do is we're going to take a beloved star. I wouldn't say she's super beloved. I think if you don't watch women's basketball, you're not into women's basketball, she's not very beloved. But she's very beloved. And she's had some very controversial things to say about our country as well. And I think the inactivity early on by the United States government shows that they could care less about her. For the sports fans of hers and of women's basketball, we're like, hey, man, this is wrong. And I get it. The amount of cannabis oil that she had is so small. It's so small. But also being a person who travels and is in airports a lot. I can't even take cocoa butter cocoa butter is harmless. It hurts ash. I can't take a small tube of cocoa butter onto the plane. So I get that part. But at the end of the day, it's Russia giving us the middle finger. They're giving us the middle finger saying, hey, we're going to take this athlete who is beloved in our country. The people here love her. They love her game in women's basketball. She's been here for years, balling up our women and being a star. That we don't care about that. What we care about is that we're going to antagonize the United States right now because you're antagonizing us. And the world is antagonizing us for what we are doing in Ukraine. And that's what this is really all about. I think she's probably been there plenty of times with cannabis oil. Probably with cannabis. Probably walked through the airport with it. But right now, because of world events, the Russians are they're making this statement. Personally, I think this can let her go. That's how you get at the United States, because think about how many brown and black men and women who are in jail because of cannabis, because of marijuana, and they're doing long term. Just say, hey, we can convict her here, but we're going to let her go because it's small beans. That would really be a black eye to the United States, because then what are we doing with our prisoners? What are we doing with the people that are serving time because of this stuff? So I think if Russia really wanted to give us the middle finger, convict her and then let her go. Send her back on a private jet too. End up with a big apology. That's how they can really give it to us. But it's Putin. He probably doesn't think that way. He just go ahead and give us the middle finger, and he's holding her as a political prisoner.
What about this angle? They give her the maximum in order to show that to us it's a big deal. So in order to create this prisoner swap, it kind of makes the equity more palatable to people. Like, we gave her the maximum. If you want her out, we want our two guys. You can have your two guys. Is that an angle? And I heard that the negotiations will happen so far behind closed doors that if they do have a prisoner swap, she will be sent back to America without any fanfare. Nobody will even get to know about it till it's overdone. It's already done. So it's just, I'm wondering if they created leverage by giving her the maximum, because they say she deliberately brought that where she said it was an accident. I did it, but it was an accident. They're saying she deliberately brought like you said, she probably does it all the time. You've been doing it for years. But now that she's medically cleared to take it because she has back issues or whatever, you would think that would play into consideration, even if it's in a different country, it's medical. But like you said, they're just pulling their cards, getting their own leverage together. I'm just wondering if it was an attempt to say, hey, if we only sentenced her for time served, then she's not that valuable of a commodity in this this swap thing. If they're going to get back a prisoner of war who is actually a threat to people's lives for a person who is taking pain relief medication from the earth, man. The herb comes from the earth. It's natural. It's a natural herb. We be knowing, man. It tells the truth. Rudy Cambrero in the house. Big Rube. Mike Staff says, yup. Elaine says, sad situation. What can be done, though? I mean, in the meantime, while us common folk watch it play out, what can the WNBA do? What can the NBA do?
Nothing really that the WNBA and the NBA can do, because they can't get involved in politics the way like that. They can say stuff, but there's nothing that they can do, because there's really not going to be an equal swap. We're going to
Mac, you crashing on a good.
Like you said, getting an arms dealer,
right?
A person who makes weapons that kill and hurt people move throughout secret channels across the globe. That's not an equal swap. But what they understand, and it's something that the Russians, I'm about to call them the Soviet Union, the Russians understand, is that doesn't matter to the American public. The American public right now, we're at odds with our government, to be truthful with you. You have BLM, you have the LGBTQ movement, you have the women's movement, we have all the Me Too, we have all this stuff going on that's counterproductive to what our government really wants. Now, what our government, let's just be, we are an imperialistic power. We're the only country in the world that has military bases on every continent. Nobody else has that. So we are an imperialistic power, and we have people at home that feel like they are being pushed to the side for these imperialistic ambitions. So if we're giving back this guy who's counterproductive to that, and we're going to get back a basketball player and a so-called spy, it's not an even swap. And they know that the American public is crying for Brittany Griner to come home, because they know that this is small beans and we should be doing something else. So we got to make sure that in context that we can possibly give this guy back. And because of what he does, he can facilitate things that can be destructive to American citizens abroad or even at home. So we got to be careful with this. I mean, I would love to see Brittany Griner home. I think that this is sad that she has to go through this situation, but at the same time, man, we have to think on the bigger picture. I mean, to be truthful, we're at war, and this is a war-like situation, and we're going to be giving up a dangerous commodity for them, and bringing back home a person who's only dangerous when she's on the court, globally dominating in the Olympics. So that's what we got to understand. And like I say, the biggest outcry is that they want her home from plenty different communities. They want her home by any means necessary. But what's going to be the dangers of giving up this guy?
Yeah, I think we're going to feel the same response. We gave up that. It's like it's not a fair exchange. We gave up someone who's not even patriotic. That's what you're going to hear. Is people that say if she wants to go to Russia and make more money, let her stay there. I've heard that. I've heard that she has to pay the price. She's a criminal. She broke the law. She has to, all that stuff we're going to hear. And if they do make this swap, and before you open your eyes in the morning and she's now in America, and they've made that exchange, we're going to hear some pushback of people that think it was not a fair exchange. We done gave up our safety for her being comfortable in the comforts of her own home. So it's something that we are like. I know I saw my girl Skylar Diggins Smith talk about it, and she was pretty upset about it. They still went on and played the game.
Yeah,
there's not much they can really do. So I feel for her. I'll pray that she gets released, but at the same time, I know it's not going to be over in the court of public opinion. People are still going to have something to say. Mr. Ricky Watts in the house, I heard that the American government has had dealings with this weapons dealer also. Yeah, they're trying to work it out. Mike Staff said our government supplies weapons and funds to nations all the time. Victor does not kill anyone. The people he sells them to do. Our country selling AR-15 to teenagers. Who are we to say this man is a villain rather than a successful businessman? Uh-oh, Mike. You're going to get us all shut down.
And I totally understand. Yeah, I totally understand where Mike is coming from, but you have to understand it's the United States. We can do that and be the good guys in our own eyes. When somebody else does that against our best interests, then they're the bad guys. It's a hypocritical stance that the United States take on all of this stuff. So I totally agree with everything you're saying, but this guy doesn't work for us in particular. Now, if he worked for us, that's a little bit different, but he works against us, and that's what they don't want. That's out there, and I get it. Once again, it's a hypocritical thing. It's just what we do in this country.
Hey man, this country was built on hypocrisy. Don't start no mess. Freddie Henderson, what up, bro? Said Sticky Hill in the house. Dr. Smith says he's an arms dealer. It's the case of the pirate versus the emperor. Because I do it with the small ship, you call me a pirate. Because you do it with the large navy, they call it you the emperor. Join the dark side, Luke. Join the dark side.
Like I tell my students all the time, do you know what the white street gangs are? They're called countries with militaries. Those are the white street gangs. They do gang banging on an epic level. You guys are small bean gang bangers. Presidents are the biggest, the biggest thugs there are.
I heard that when I was in high school. They said, "What's the biggest gang in California?" It's like 18th Street, the Latino gang. Nope, the LAPD, the biggest, baddest gang in LA. Will jump you, throw you back in the neighborhood at the enemy territory, and set you up, beat you up. Mike Staff said,
steal your car, do a drive-by, and say it was you.
And then post cocaine on you and say it was all you. I say, is it fair because he's not a criminal and being robbed for 9 years of his life? She's already been locked up since February. That's what cracks me up, is that she don't have time served. The poor young lady, she had some oil, man. She wouldn't even, it was for personal use. Personal use. But I know it's a different country.
And they made it seem like, I know I was watching CNN, and they were saying like they're trying to get her on drug smuggling conspiracies. Like, really?
I'm gonna smuggle this 7. Was it 0.7? Was it 0.7 ounces? Was it a whole? Was it even an ounce? It was enough to make your back not hurt. Wow. It was enough to make her back not hurt for 10 minutes. It wasn't even enough to get her back to feel better for the whole day. It was a little taste. All right, man. We hope Brittany gets sent home and this can be behind us. I hope we learn. I didn't add it to the line of topics, but Iman Shumpert just got caught at the airport with some weed. What is wrong with people with weed in your backpack? What? It's not the topic of discussion for tonight, but I have to say, come on, man. You just blew up. Your name is now hot. You can speak on anybody's podcast and get paid. Now you're going to be in jail for a minute because you got weed in your backpack. I believe it was a lot. And he had bullets. Not the gun, the bullets. Come on, man. I've seen some cats be like irresponsible at the airport. My buddy was a roadie for Snoop, and they always had some kind of paraphernalia, and somebody got left at customs in Germany because they had something in their backpack or something. I almost say that's more understandable. Iman Shumpert, man. Come on, man.
If you travel a lot, like a lot of these people do, you know the rules, man. You know, I went to Oklahoma City to go to my niece's graduation at Oklahoma State. And I purposely was like, you know what? I don't want to stop off at Rite Aid to get some cocoa butter. Let me try to get this little tube of cocoa butter on me. So when they called me at the gate with the cocoa butter, you know, I didn't even make a big deal about it. They were like, "Sir, you know." I was like, "I know." I said, "I just don't want to go buy lotion." You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna have to leave that lotion I'm gonna have to leave that lotion behind. No matter what, I'm gonna have to leave it. So I'm wasting money. And she's like, I understand, sir. I feel you. And I was like, all right. So, I mean, they know. Check your bags, man. I carry the same bag all the time. Before I pack, I check it to make sure nothing, which really ain't nothing in there. But you never know. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to, find a surprise for yourself up in there. So, you just gotta be careful with that. You always check your bags. That's why they tell you at the airport, man. Don't leave your bags unattended. Don't let nobody give you stuff. So it is what it is, man. I don't feel bad for Iman Shumpert because he knew. Man, Brittany Griner, I think she knows, but she just put in a bad situation, man.
Like you said, she's probably done it a million times, and now they got her because now they got somebody they can use as a pawn. But we've all seen the Golden Child, man. When sweet brother Noomsy went to the airport with the dagger to kill the Golden Child. Viva Nepal! My sweet brother Noomsy has forgiven me. Sada Noomsy. You've retrieved the dagger. You have saved lives. Sweet brother Noomsy. All right, man. Our sweet brother Deshaun Watson, the sweet freaky dicky Watson, is now under appeal by the NFL. What is going to happen? What does it all mean? Deshaun Watson's 6-game suspension is being appealed by the NFL. Roger Goodell apparently is not happy with the 6-game. Why go to arbitration if you're not going to let them arbitrate? But what does it all mean, man? Deshaun Watson's appeal of a 6-game suspension.
So they went and got this female judge thinking that this female judge is going to throw the book at him. No way a female judge is going to let this black man get off with a slap on the wrist. But then when they realized, like, as I seen it explained on Undisputed, they said that none of this is in the bylaws. Like, they don't have contingency plans for stuff like this. So why would you want me to enforce rules that you don't even have? You don't even have a precedent on this. The one precedent that you had on this was Ben Roethlisberger, who was trying to get it in at the bathroom. They suspended him for 6 games and then cut it to 4. They'll cut it to 4. So now what you're saying is that you want this lady to throw the book at a guy who was trying to be a freaky deek. But then the last time you had a situation with somebody being freaky deaky, you gave him a 6-game suspension, which is what you did. Then you cut it to 4. So I guess you figured, hey, I'm just following suit of what you guys did, which makes a lot of sense. Is Deshaun Watson wrong for the things he did? Yes. Are some of these women who put themselves in this situation understanding and knowing some of this stuff?
Yeah.
Could have had the balls to say, hey, look, bro, we ain't doing this. A lot of them could have stepped forward early on, but the Texans was holding. They were holding this for him just in case anything went wrong. They were holding this for him.
Time out, man. You said who had the balls. It's too early to say that. we know who had them. We know of the 66 masseuse therapists. Somebody had them. Out of these 24, they didn't want to have the balls. They didn't want to have the balls. That's the whole problem. They didn't want to have the balls. But go ahead.
Because you can make money off of this. What people don't understand, this scheme athletes. Me and my wife just started watching this new show on HBO Max with Issa Rae producing called Rap Shit. And aimless plug if you guys haven't seen it, good. Where the girls talking about their song is called Seduce and Scheme. A lot of these women out there that's doing the IG and doing all that stuff, they're trying to get these high profile athletes and stuff like that to come after them. That's why they posing in their bikini and they draws, they twerking, got OnlyFans. They're trying to catch somebody. They're trying to get paid. This is a seduce and scheme type of thing. Now, Deshaun Watson is a dude who obviously loves to go to the buffet and pick out all the different entrees. He loves us. He loved the sample. He loved the sample trays. So this dude was just going. He was overboard. And I wouldn't say that he has an addiction. He's a man who loves women, and he loves multitudes of them. That's most men. Until you get married and you got a wife that can bust you upside the head, all that. This dude just took it too far, and I guess because the first 30 didn't say nothing or what didn't come up, he was like, well, I can do 36 more.
The first 100.
And then when he decided I don't want to be in Houston, the text, gotcha, Trump card. Gotcha. So I think what this is just that Roger Goodell decided I'm not satisfied with what happened, so I'm going to make my own rules. And this is part of having owners. One thing I always say, the owner should be subjected to everything the athletes have to do. Robert Kraft was caught in a sting at a massage parlor trying to get a happy ending. Mm-hmm. He should have been suspended and lost some money. Mm-hmm. Lots of it. You know what I'm saying? Not draft picks and then like that. Lots of it. Players can't do drugs and drink. Owners shouldn't be able to do it either. That the athletes should be the best example of it. They should be the main ones leading the charge. If we're going to have an image, and we're going to protect the shield, we all need to be protecting the shield, not just the athletes, but also the owners. So it's the same disconnect that they have with the kneeling connect. We have the people that's up here making the rules, and you have the people that have to play by the rules. And when they're not satisfied, when the people that play by the rules in a certain way, or they don't get punished away, they try to make it worse than what the punishment should be. What's going to end up happening? They're going to reverse this. They're going to give him a season. He's going to sue the NFL. He's going to win. He's going to make a bunch of money off of that, on top of the guaranteed money that he already got. Thank you, NFL, for making Deshaun Watson even more of a millionaire than what he already is. Good job.
Yeah, I think it's all mapped out with the $1 million 2022, 2023 contract, and then the rest of it being guaranteed. I think everybody knew. I think Mike Stafford's on to something. Goodell wants to be a hero. He wants the women that feel some kind of way about this whole thing to believe the owner stepped up when a woman judged. Like, if she didn't even want to hear all 24, she heard enough as to say this guy has a problem. The problem is these small little towels he be putting on. He comes in there with the intent of seeing what's going to crack. And Deshaun Watson even said, out of the 66, three of them did the do. So, you know, he remains, he goes and see how far his things can go. And most of the time it don't go further than it goes. But all that to say what? We know he's freaky deaky. We know it all happened, whatever, and these women were uncomfortable. They all got their money in their settlement. Now Goodell gets to save some face. And the whole sue the NFL thing is already in the works. There's certain things that you can't do to a player. That's what the collective bargaining agreement's for. That's what the NFLPA is for. I got cut while I was hurt. I got my contract. You know, I got my money from my contract because I got cut while I was hurt. They try to run that. Yeah. If you practice, you can play. I was like, no, when Mike Ditka comes in the training room and tells me if you don't practice, we're going to cut you. And not in those words, you can't make the club in the tub. When you hear things like that from the head coach and you are on the brink of tearing your arm off trying to make a team, you pretty much do what you need to do. But then the collective bargaining agreement, the NFL Players Association protects their players. So the NFL is going to do what they're going to do. Deshaun's going to get all this money. Only thing he's going to lose is 2 years of his career at his prime. So they're going to treat him like Muhammad Ali in the swan song of his career, saying, well, we would have never known how good he could have been because when he was playing in his top, he was robbed of 2 years of his life because he's freaky sneaky in the massage parlor. So it'll all happen. He'll be playing for the Browns next year. If not game, what? He might still get 10 games, but you guys say the whole season. I think they'll go to 10 because then they'll say, we don't want to be sued, but we have to go do something. So let's go 8 games. You know, I don't know what the precedent should be. But again, like you said last week, there's a thing called lying. And as I watch some of those testimonies, I'm kind of like, okay. We don't know. We weren't there. We can't call it. The first girl getting real slimy. So I keep looking at her face. I'm trying to read her. And I'm like, I'm looking at what you doing with your clients, and they're showing her in action. Like I said, I've had massage sessions, and the woman would suggest the alternative, and you have to decline. And I think the same thing can go the other way. When Deshaun Watson come in there with the little statue of David towel. And all his goodness is showing. So, I mean, shoot, at that point, no, put your towel on. We don't play that. That's what the conversation should be. Where are your clothes at? I don't get down like that. I'm gonna go through with this massage. I'm gonna cry the whole time. Okay. He's not a violent guy. He's just powerful. All right, man. LeBron James has not signed. I'm sure Mike Staff has a point to make on this. What do you think LeBron James' plans are? We can't get into the mind of LeBron James, but you're a Laker fan. LeBron James has not signed an extension. Is LeBron James going to stay put, or is LeBron James on the way out trying to find his next destination?
I think because of the whole controversy about the GOAT and the chips and all that stuff, he hasn't won enough championships. And even though he's been to 10 finals, he's 4-6. He has his losing record. This goes against his legacy. I think LeBron is at the point where I want to move and win. If I'm going to move, I want to win. If I'm going to stay, I want to win. What are y'all going to do to win? And we all know Rob Pelinka is a shrewd, kind of sneaky operator. And LeBron talk, him and Rich Paul. Pelinka put his cojones on the table and was like, "Hey, look, I'm the boss. I'm the man." I mean, this is the same dude who was writing emails and sending them out about Magic Johnson, who's probably the greatest Laker of all time, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, and he in the back. That he would something to undermine LeBron James as well. Just not understanding what the Lakers were thinking in the first place, putting together their rosters over the past maybe 10 years. A lot of their rosters have been just like, what are you thinking? But, we did get a championship out of it that first year in the bubble. But you also got to understand this man's 38 years old. He only got about 2-3 years left at the most. He's saying that he want to wait for his son, Bronny James, to come and stuff like that. It'd be a great thing to have that happen in a Laker uniform since Bronny James is an LA kid now. Sharif O'Neal on the team. Jackson league trying to make the team. It wouldn't hurt, but I don't think the Lakers want that guarantee, and our fan base don't want the guarantee of we're going to be losing still. Why have LeBron and Carmelo and AD, us and all these guys? We're going to still lose. So the Laker organization got to do what it takes to make sense, put a winning product up there. But just understand that LeBron wants a winning product. He wants to be part of a winning product. If we're not going to make moves to have a winning product, he might as well give deuces. The Lakers organization existed before he got here. It'll exist after he leaves. The Lakers were champions before he got here. They'll probably win some championships in the future after he leaves. I was against bringing him in and getting rid of all that young talent in the first place to kind of let them guys grow up and become a good team. We were impatient. We wanted a championship. So if LeBron leaves, he leaves. But I just think that Rob Pelinka, when they came up in here to talk about the extension, it's only a 2-year extension. I think Pelinka, hey, this is the card I'm going to play. What you going to do? And I think LeBron was like, well, we'll see if we win or not, because I get to go. He's going to play out this last contract. He don't get extended, he'll probably be back in Cleveland. That's what I think.
Yeah, I'm with Mike Moody. Shout out to Mike Moody and Mood Swing Apparel with the DEM merch to match my Eagles cap, my good green. It ain't Kelly green, but it's Eagle green on that DEM. Dominate every matchup. LeBron is piecing out. He's trying to figure it out. He's probably trying to see how hard AD gonna come this year. I mean, AD is the key.
AD good for a good 38 games.
Tender love. Tender love. And see if he's not tender no more. We won't know. We really don't know. I think
trade AD for young.
Hey, he might just end back up in Cleveland. I think the younger kid got a better chance than Bronny, if you ask me, though. Bryce is going to be probably 6'10". And that kid is growing like a weed. Whereas Bronny might have topped out at 6'2".
Yeah.
And
he's 6'6" right now, right? Bryce?
Bryce is 6'6", 15 years old, and bigger than LeBron was at 15. So I think he might be the one. Bronny might just be a Instagram guy. He seems like a social media guy. He likes to do all those. Yeah, he's that kind of guy. All right, man. Transfer trade generation. We're dealing with it at my son's school. I'm coaching and I'm seeing kids come and go. We're seeing it in the NBA. We're seeing it in baseball. People don't like where they are. Middle of a contract. Just got to a school. Not happy with things. Who's to blame for what we're dealing with? I mean, the KDs of the world. What LeBron's about to do. Kyrie. Everybody. Westbrook. John Wall. What's the blame for all the movement? Whether it be high school, college, or pro. What's the main thing?
The main blame is Little League sports. Little League sports is so high stakes now. You can have a kid playing for Inglewood one season, playing for Hawthorne next season, in Long Beach one season, and then playing in Rialto. So, the star. I think in playing Little League football, I spent all 5 years of playing Part 1 football at Inglewood Junior All-American. And my first year, I was not the best player on the team. I wasn't a bum, but my dad didn't say, I won't be in.
Oh, you crashing, Jimmy Mack. Oh, man, I missed what you said.
the stars, son. If that's and it goes with AAU ball and travel ball. You can take an AAU team, and that AAU team will have 5-star caliber players on there, and they'll blow everybody out. And people like how great they are, but they're not facing really much competition. Everybody think, oh, the travel ball and all that stuff, that's going to be best competition. No, stacked and loaded. And guys don't understand how to fight for the right to be on the field anymore. They want to be given that opportunity to be on the field. And it starts as little kids, that these kids, hey, baby, you're not the starting running back, so I'm gonna take you over here so you can be the starting running back. Take the other kid's spot, or make it to where the coach got to play y'all both. There's nothing wrong with sharing and stardom. You know, that's how you have good teams. Good teams share. You don't have to be the ultimate star. So it starts off that as little kids with parents wanting their kid to be a star at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I learned at a young age, as much as I like being a good athlete, I hate the attention that comes with it. I hated that. And nowadays, you know, people were putting their kids on social media, breaking a long run, making a big hit, nothing like. We just had the tapes on and just seen ourselves. You know, it's just crazy because I've had that as a coach in high school. This is a kid's 5th school. Like, dude, there's only 4 years of high school. How's this his 5th school? He's just a junior. This is his 5th school already.
He has 10 schools.
It's just ridiculous.
I wonder if it's
What'd you think?
I mean, it's a bunch of things. Like I agree with the Little League. Everybody gets a trophy generation and creating a situation where student athletes must play was a topic today. Like, some people get in the game because they must play. I'm like, what is that? I never grew up in no must play era. You earned your play. But fast forwarding to Pee Wee being one thing, Mike Moody said it's the coaches because they dip on the kids when they get an opportunity. Is it about power? Yep. Is it about power and leverage? Like, if you don't get everything you want in life, I have the commodity that you want, whether it be a college coach, whether it be a star player. Like, why would KD leave the Brooklyn Nets when he has everything he asked for? And he has an opportunity to build what he thought he was missing when he wasn't getting the props he would like to have when he was in Golden State. Now I have my own franchise. Oh man, this is harder than I thought. And now he's going to jump right back in the same situation of ring chasing and not getting the love that he wanted. And that's one area. You got James Harden and Westbrook, these kind of guys who will never win championships with the style of play they have. And they're not realistic about it. They want to just keep jumping ship and getting these deals, which is cool. I believe the power goes to the player in the NBA, but in the NFL, where your contracts aren't guaranteed, but at the same time you request a trade like Deshaun Watson, and you get freaky sneaky allegations. So it's a lot that plays for me. It's more than one thing, but I know the ultimate blame is
Tano, come here.
A generation that is afraid of the challenge. Like, I really appreciate those players like Damian Lillard staying in Portland. This is where I am. This is who I, was drafted by. They pay me handsomely. I'm going to try to make it happen here. I'm not going to be happy if I ring chase. Some people aren't built that way. A lot of kids in high school ball, whether it be basketball, football, baseball, whatever, they see their window of being a man in the freshman and sophomore year, and it has to happen now instead of waiting until your senior year and hopefully you play really well and become a recruit. They want it to happen. Like, I've seen sophomores transfer because they weren't starting on varsity. Like, when you go to your new school, you're gonna be starting there. They're gonna promise you something and you get there and it's not the truth. The same thing happens over and over again. It's a lot, but I do believe it's that we give the players so much power today, which is probably, good and bad. So we have to deal with that. But what's the one thing to blame? I can't say it's one thing, but I know a big thing is youth sports and watching the adults do it. Now that the adults have made the precedent, the people that now have power with NIL deals, with the ability to transfer with COVID, you get one transfer and no penalty. In high school, all you got to do is move. You can move next door and you can transfer. So they've made it a lot easier for the player to have more power. And I've always felt the power should be in the player's hands, but the player should have some type of loyalty and gumption about themselves to try to make it work where you are, if you can. And if you absolutely just can't, like a quarterback situation or a point guard situation, I understand you might have to find a new place to play if you're behind someone younger than you. But at the same time, when did you lose the desire to compete? That's where I don't get. Like, I play pickup basketball. If we get beat by a team, we're not mixing them up. We're going to play again. And we're going to try to beat y'all. Some guys will just go join the other team that beat them. And I don't know where that comes from. That's the KD generation. I can't do it. Let's see everybody talking
because
about.
there's a big emphasis on winning all the time. If I'm not winning, then I'm not good. Like, we underrate athletes because they don't have enough championships. This is absolutely ridiculous. Like Dr. J, and I know Dr. J is one of your favorite players of all time.
Mm-hmm.
People don't even consider Dr. J as one of the great small forwards because he only got one NBA. And I'm like, dude, are you crazy? Like, Dr. greatest basketball players ever played. Like, he's a pioneer of how they play above the rim and the things that they do with the fancy dunks and stuff like that. And he was in Philadelphia where they had other star players that he had to share the load. He couldn't just take over by himself. That's hard to do. So we underrate, don't win. Like, you can put up numbers and people will go, well, you didn't win. You just put up numbers. No, man, I'm going out there giving my best. I'm not putting up numbers because it's easy to put up numbers. I'm out there because I'm trying to win. And if I don't win, not that it's okay, but I gave a great effort. Because best memories of playing the game wasn't defeat because I learned so much than it was from winning. Like, oh, that's what I got to do to be better. I seen what they did to win the game. I got to start doing things like that. So, I mean, I just think that we put so much emphasis on winning. Once again, at a young age, I'm going to move my kid who's the star player on this team because they didn't win enough. Well, your kid is a guy here. Let him learn. Maybe his teammates will come up with him because he inspired them to come up with him. But if you take him off that team and then put him on a good team, now those other kids are going to get blown away because they don't have nobody now. So sometimes I just think that we have made sports so high stakes that we kind of lost leverage on the value of being loyal, like you said, being loyal and understanding that it's not always about the winning of games. It's about going out there and dedicating yourself to something and giving 100% of it, good product for it. Not every time you're out on the court, the W doesn't always come with the victory as a team. It comes with the W comes for being able to do that and perform at high levels, win or lose.
Yeah, man, it's tough, man. We got a lot of comments in here. My man Martin, man, as a senior in the house, he says 8 plays is a must play. Oh man, I ain't from that cut cloth. I'm not from there. Mac says a quarter and 1 at bat and 2 innings in baseball. Wow. I remember sitting the whole game. I remember just watching. I had to tell the kid today at practice, you're going to get in the game when you learn the plays and you don't go out here and you show me that you're aggressive enough to protect yourself. I can't put you in the game you getting destroyed. I can't put you out there like that. You're not ready to play yet. Coach, can I play some tight end? No. That's the trenches. I put you in there, you might get manhandled. You're not ready to play yet. You fresh off the playground, man. This is football. This is real business, man. Mike Moody says some Little League coaches or parents follow certain coaches, and when they change teams, the coaches also poach the players. And then it might be a reason why people like Westbrook and Harden's game have been jinxed. They fall off because they change teams too much. They never get used to the system. They keep running around. Had AI ran from Larry Brown, they don't make the finals. So I think there's something to that. If this coach is a good coach, a proven coach, and the players give that coach an opportunity and buy into that system, it can work. That might be why KD's leaving Brooklyn. He don't believe in Steve Nash. He's unproven. Well, we'll see. Queenie Lane says she agrees that generation runs from adversity. Coach T says you got parents shopping their kids to programs, seeing what they can get out of it. It's a business, man, and they're using it at a very young age. Queen says kids now didn't get to play for fun. They are always competing all year long. No more open gyms or going to the park to play just for fun. It's a business now. And Anna says chasing rings and championships. Like I told you before, man, my son said basketball now is fun.
I remember not doing year-round sports. I remember, man, just having fun, going up the street playing dunk ball at the elementary, racing in the streets, riding my bike. Kids don't do that much no more because it's year-round. I mean, you got 8-year-olds doing 7-on-7. No 8-year-old should be doing 7-on-7. I'm sorry. That's just not. Nobody should be doing that at 8 years old, man.
Hey,
Give that kid some Legos, man.
that
Give that
kid got
kid
on,
some He-Mans,
he got
some
on,
G.I. Joes, man. Let them kids be kids.
he got on full-on bodysuit on, gloves, mouthpiece, haircut, specialized custom cleats. He's 6. He gonna grow out of that. He gonna grow out of that. He gonna grow out of that outfit next week. I'm like, it go
with
hard,
a nickname,
man.
the Terminator. Look at Terminator about to go.
It's like, man, I'm like,
Man,
I let my son be a little fat, little chubby nerd kicking rocks on the playground, and then I was kind of like, all right, son, it's time for us to get serious. You're either gonna be an engineer or an athlete that gets your college tuition paid for to become an engineer. You're going to either be one or the other. You're going to be a straight A student. He's like, that's hard. Then you better come out here and catch this ball, do something. You got to go out here and shoot this ball and learn to do something. I mean, we tried to battle bots. We tried to be an engineer. And I was like, this is what it's going to be. If you don't want to play sports, it's going to be academia. And he was like, well, all right. I praise God that we found a sport that sees his worth. And he's, going that route. I was not going to be that parent flying around changing addresses and all kind of foolishness to try to get my son the best opportunity to be successful, putting him at Modern Day or Bosco, because I know that's where the scouts go. I'm a firm believer, if your son has talent, your daughter has talent, no matter where they play, they will be seen. You have to do a little bit of legwork. They will be found, and they will be given the same opportunities as a kid at a big time school. And it's proofs in the pudding. My son is right where he needs to be. Small school, doesn't know how to play a whole lot as far as IQ in football, but everything else is coming together. He'll be fine when it's time to go play in college. He might redshirt, but that's what redshirt was for. Remember that? Some of us had the redshirt. I believe you were a true freshman playing, Jimmy, because we needed you to play. But our year, we all redshirted except Kareem and Jonathan Ogden.
Sure, I got pulled out my. Stokes got hurt, and I was like, hit the field. They were like, hit the field. I was like, oh, okay. Then now y'all want me to play.
There's your season.
All right.
There's just Coach D said they out there being models, looking sweet in their uniforms, looking real sweet. All right, man. Contract stipulations. What's the deal killer from Mac? You're Kyler Murray. What if they put something in your contract that you would say, hey, what's that? I'm not signing this.
My deal killer would have been like, you can't go to the Barbie Coast. No. No. I think it would have been the go home and study. People don't understand, like, especially in the NFL, before y'all hit the field, y'all just watch film, a couple of hours of film before you hit the field. So now you're telling me we didn't watch film before I hit the field. Now I'm hitting the field. And depending on where you at, y'all might watch film an hour after, depending on it, who you with. Now you tell me I got to go home in my leisure time after putting in an 8-hour day, because basically the NFL is an 8-hour day. You're there at 8 o'clock in the morning. You're not leaving there until 6 o'clock in the afternoon because of all the stuff that you have to do. It's like working a job. You telling me I got to go home and watch more film? So we just watched the film. I just practiced what we watched on the film, and now you telling me I got to watch more film? And I get it. Guys like Brady and Peyton Manning, they went home and did that. But we're also talking about guys I think they have great social lives either. You know what I'm saying? Some people want to go home and unwind and relax, not think about football. I mean, when my son was 8 and I would talk to him on the way home from football practice or from basketball practice, he said, Dad, can we not talk about it? I just want to ride home. I don't want to talk about it. You know, sometimes when people are done, they're done. When I'm off the field, I'm done. A lot of people that are addicts, like how I was, your addiction to the sport can sometimes be your downfall. Excuse me, when it comes to being a social person. I didn't learn how to become a good social person until I was like in high school, because sports was the only thing that was on my mind. So sometimes people have already learned how to get themselves out of sports mode so they can get to being a regular person off the field. So that would have been a deal killer. We'll give you this money, but we have to know that you're going home watching film. And I'd be like, so how much y'all taking off the top then? Because I'm not about to go home and watch film, especially if I got a wife and kids at home, or I just want to go home and watch some NBA basketball, or watch some reality TV, or whatever it is that's my vice when I get home to get me away from the sport. I need that relaxation. So That would have been it for me. Go home, study. What would have been yours, Cobbs?
Mine probably would have been off-season activity limitations. Like if they would say I can't go do Spartan races, or they say I can't do skydiving, I can't go, just my life away from the game that we're playing 7 to 8 months out of the year, which you're not allowed to do. I don't know if I'd have been that offended by the film study, but I think that was in there because he's a video game head and they were worried about it. So if I'm a gamer, a game head, and they make me watch film, because 4 hours is not a long time. If it's 4 hours a week, it's like 30 minutes a day, and a couple of 45-minute sessions. It's not asking a whole lot, but the principles, Smokey, the principalities, it's principles to this. You're messing with my money, messing with my emotions. If he's a game head and he plays video games all day and all night, and it does not affect the way he plays, yes, that's why they took the stipulation out. For me, if you take away what I love to do as far as unwinding from a season, I'm like what your son said, I don't want to talk about it right now. But if I need to get some therapy, if I need to go out here and do something therapeutic, I don't want nobody intervening or interfering what I do on my own time. And you putting it in my contract is kind of a slap in the face. So anything that they put on my contract would have to be something that we agreed upon before we even got to that. I'm wondering if that was something they talked about as it was being negotiated, or if it was something that was found after the fact. I don't even think players read their contracts that in depth. I don't remember reading mine.
I don't think the agents do either.
I read the amount and I'm like, cool. And I was like, signed on the dotted line. And it's like, you make the team, this is how much you make. If you on a practice squad, this is how much you make. It had nothing to do with you can't ride a motorcycle, you can't play pickup basketball, you can't, do anything crazy. But, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. All right, man, last topic before I got to get out of here, man. My son's ready to get picked up at Sky Zone. That was his contract stipulation. No Sky Zone. They out there playing, what's it called? Bully ball? Basketball at the Sky Zone, where you jump on the dunk ball. I believe one of my buddies, Anthony Ademalui, was a professional trampoline basketball player. My son and them playing. Hopefully nobody got hurt. We'll see.
That's exciting. I know that. If you ever watch any of them games, that's exciting.
Oh man, they're getting dunked on, they're getting smashed on. All right, man. Save 2 movies. We've done this, the sports top 10 movies of all time during the pandemic. This one came up. Revisit it. You only get to save 2 out of this list. I believe it's 20 movies on this list. You could save 2. Slam ball and a thank you. Slam ball. I hope I ain't got CTE because stuff just be leaving my memory like it's nothing. Save 2 movies. I think I said the word slam and I said basketball and I still couldn't think of slam ball. It ain't all connecting up top. All right, save 2 movies, man. Think.
Well, 3 of these movies for sure I love. I had cut it down. 4 of them really, if I would have kept Remember the Titans. But Remember the Titans, I like it, but it ain't my. It be like these 3 movies I watch whenever they come out. Major League, Get Their Own, and Waterboy. I watch those no matter what. If they come on, I could be flipping through the channels trying to watch something else, and I'll turn straight to it.
You said
so. I'm gonna have to say.
You said Major
I'm gonna
League.
Save 2 of.
You said Major League,
Major League, A League of Their Own, and watch those no matter what. But I'm gonna have to save 2 of them because they are just really, they're movies that I just love. And it's crazy because I was a baseball player when I was younger, but I didn't become a baseball player as I got old. Most definitely keeping Major League and A League of Their Own. I most keep it because I just love those movies. I love those movies, man. And it's hard to get rid of Waterboy because my boy Jamal Clark is in the movie. And Bobby Boucher is the greatest middle linebacker to ever play the game at any level. So, but I'm gonna go with Major League and A League of Their Own.
Hey man, that's tough. They didn't make my list. I had narrowed it down to 5, and I had to narrow it down before I got to 2. Rudy, Remember the Titans, Waterboy, White Man Can't Jump, and I'm gonna say Moneyball, just because of just the story. But of course, Moneyball gets cut. Moneyball gets cut. Waterboy, it just makes me feel good, man. The Sandlot comes on, I'm watching it, even though I know it up and down,
Word
front
for
and back.
word.
I-
You know a word for word?
I know it word for word. I know Waterboy word for word. I know Rudy. Well, Rudy makes me cry. When Rudy gets that sack and his dad goes, yes, yes, yes. And his brother says, you, man, you. I always just start crying. And my wife is like, oh my God, you crying this fool. And then my son says, he was offsides. I said, forget the formalities, man. You don't remember how that dude was getting dogged in camp. He was getting destroyed in camp. I'm like, how is that dude still practicing? I love the longest yard. Oh man, Coach T said Marshall. We are Marshall in longest yard. Which longest yard though? We talking about Bert, young Bert, or we talking about Adam Sandler?
Young Bert. You gotta be young Bert. The Adam Sandler one is good, but I like the young Bert one better.
I'm with Anna. I can't just pick two, but if I have to pick, because White Man Can't Jump is classic, man. Oh man,
it is classic.
It's classic, man. Oh, Woody Harrelson and Snipes and Rosie Perez and Marcus Johnson. Oh man, this is stuff. Now, Like Mike gets no love. Space Jam gets no love. Air Bud, no love. Miracle was good, but no love. Youngblood, didn't see it. Slapshot, I'm cool. Goon, I'm cool. Mighty Ducks, I'm cool. I like Hoosiers a lot. I like League of Their Own a lot. I love Major League. Field of Dreams, I can, you know, it's pretty good. I'm gonna say Remember the Titans and Waterboy.
And just disclaimer: I never heard of Youngblood until I seen on this list.
Yeah,
and
I would have put a Raging Bull in here.
As much as people talk about Hoosiers, I've never seen Hoosiers. I've never seen the movie.
Oh,
I've never seen it, man. I've never seen it. I've seen parts of Goon.
Yeah, I've seen parts of it. It's kind of silly.
Like the whole thing, but
if I'm gonna do a silly slapstick, I'm going Waterboy. Waterboy or Happy Gilmore.
Man, the price is wrong.
I think Waterboy and Happy Gilmore, man. And then, well, yeah. We'll see, man. Hey, everybody has a. Let's see who everybody. Let's say. Elaine said, "Mama said, happiness comes from raising."
Because they got all those teeth and no toothbrush.
No toothbrush. Well, guess what? Mama's wrong again. No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. Colonel. And gave him
Mama's right.
Remember the Titans, longest yards as Mike. You haven't seen most of them. Rudy and Remember the Titans. Man, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, Rudy earned them reps, man. That's how you do a protest. Hey, if Rudy ain't playing, we ain't playing. Nobody playing. What about Mac from the program? Oh man, Mac was when we saw it. Were you on the team? Were you still? I think you were not. You were still in high school when we saw.
I was in high school when the program came out. So
all right, so we saw the program as a UCLA as a team bonding event, and we was pointing out the steroid cases. We was pointing out the ghetto running back with Sarmon Shaw, aka Kareem. Latimer was about all our white dudes on the line. It was crazy, man. We were watching it, like pointing out, man, this is us. They were watching us. Can't pick two. The OG longest yard, says Anna. Martine says, oh, one, yeah. MJ to the hole says B Henry. Coach Carter is a good one, but it's in my top 10. I don't think it's in my top 5. Hoosiers is great.
Which one?
I'm saying Coach Carter's in my top 10. I don't think it makes my top 5. The Natural is on here. That Brave Raging Bull ain't on here. There's a few now.
No, it should be on here. Sunset Park.
Sunset Park or Coach Carter? Which one you gonna take?
I'd take Sunset Park. I like Sunset Park better than I like Coach Carter.
That's some high quality.
Trying to get live. Trying to represent Sunset Park. What time is it? Oh, that was dope.
All right. Sunset Park or Blue Chips?
I like Blue Chips because it got one of my favorite players in there, Penny. But I still take Sunset Park, even though I still love what Nick Nolte said about the filling up the arena. He said nobody comes in to watch a science project. People are coming here filling up this arena to watch a basketball game. They're trying to tell the school president which is more important. So I get that, but I like Sunset Park. A little bit better than Blue Chips.
Sunset Park or Hardball? They killed
Oh man,
G Baby, man. They
I
killed.
gotta go with Hardball, man. Hardball. Now that's the movie that makes me cry every
They have to
time.
kill G Baby, man.
Every time I cry on that part, it's sad, man.
The
So
replacement,
sad,
the
man.
replacements, the replacements.
The replacements are funny.
When they said put the car back, we're not putting back nothing. Bah, 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 bah. Put the car back. Put the car back. All right, man. Gotta go. Final words.
Final words is my prayers go out to the people in the tragedy that happened yesterday in LA on Lawson, the tragic car accident that happened. I feel bad that this lady is going to have to live with the guilt that she basically killed the family. She killed a young mom with a young baby, and she was pregnant again. I would hate to have to live with that guilt for the rest of my life. I'm not saying that the judge should take it light on her in a sentence or anything like that, but I pray that that lady doesn't go into the mental health crisis over this. I mean, she's caused enough damage. There's no need for her to cause damage to herself. And I know a lot of people probably think like, man, why would you pray for her? I also pray for the families of the people who perished in that car accident. But I not that I have ever done this, and I hope that that never come to pass. But I know myself. The guilt will eat me up if I was a person that caused that type of destruction and damage of life. So I pray for that sister that she don't destroy herself in the process of this, because that would just be adding 10 on 20. And also I want to give a special prayer out to one of my friends. Her daughter needed a bone marrow transplant. They found the donor was her other daughter. So I hope that those babies come out okay and everything is successful, so my high school friend doesn't lose one of her babies because of a bone marrow transplant. And I hope that it's all successful. That happened yesterday. I said a prayer over social media for it, and I hope everything works out well for Shauna and her two princesses, that everything work out.
All right, man. Good stuff. There's bigger things in life than sports. We want to always keep that in mind. Sports is entertainment, and we get to talk about it and have a good time and get a release from what the troubles of the world might be. Let's always keep that in mind. This is just a platform for us to get a little bit of an escape from the realities of the world. So, again, we constantly stay in prayer, staying in a positive mindset. As I'm inviting people to our show tonight, I was kind of sad. I have like 10 friends on Facebook that are no longer with us. As I'm going down the list of friends, I'll type in a letter of the alphabet to see whose name pops up, so I can click their name to invite them to our show. And how many of them are no longer here? It was like, wow, I might have to do a tribute to all my Facebook friends who are no longer here, because it was getting like long. Like I was getting sad, like, man. And it's like their birthdays come up and Facebook reminds you that it's someone's birthday and they're no longer here and they're younger than us and are our age. So I'm like, man. And I saw a post that there was a short day the other day. Like the day was shorter. And the comedian said, I knew it. Time is flying. Like time is shortening up, because it says scientifically the day was shorter. Like we cannot count the days as if they don't matter. Each day is a gift. And the more I see my friends leaving this earth, every day is a gift, man. So y'all enjoy each other's company. Shout out to the people you ain't saw in a while. I'm so happy to see Anna on here. I've had a relationship with that family since I was a little kid. Mike Moody, Mike Harris, we from deep Long Beach roots. I've known Elaine for about 7 years now. B. Henry, all you guys. Coach T, we've known for 25 years or so. It's a blessing to have friends that I've known for a minute, and you guys are still here, and we're still rocking together, man. All right, y'all, that's our show. Thank y'all for hanging out with the 1585 boys. Hopefully be back next Friday. I would play our song, but they might try to give us copyright infringement. Every show I do these days has been flagged. I got to change my intro song on my show on Tuesdays. But we're going to bang this thing out like 1994. Elaine said, life is short. Live with purpose. Amen, sister. All right, y'all. Be easy. Peace out. Who wanna scrap with a like that pack? Wow, nah, I put it down like a hog. I got what you need. Feed with the bomb. Tweed 1994, 2 p.m. It's time for practice, Jimmy Mack.
Who banging
on these Transformers. Next week, y'all. Peace out. Mike Moody.